Hiya, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to crochet a PlayStation theme blanket. Each patch is kind of based on a PlayStation button. So I made 4 of each of the buttons, and it's quite simple to make. You only need to know how to use 2 stitches for this. So this is the pattern for the square one. I'll leave a link in the description of the other patterns. I used a 4mm hook and DK yarn for this. So to start off with, I'm going to make a slip knot to attach the yarn to the hook. And then to start off with, we're going to chain 73. So to chain, you just grab the yarn with the hook and pull it through the hoop that's on your hook. And you just repeat that. So grab the yarn and pull it through. And you've just learnt your first stitch you need to use. So repeat this 73 times. So you've got the baseline done. And this is how long each of the patches will be. So once you've done that, take a note of where the 72nd stitch is, so the second from last one. And to start the first row, we're going to chain 4, and this is going to count as our first triple crochet. So we start going like upwards. Then we're going to wrap the yarn twice around the hook, and then we're going to go through that 72nd stitch. Go straight through the middle of it. So we're coming out the back. Then we'll grab the yarn with the hook, bring it around the front, and then we'll have 4 hoops on the hook. Grab the yarn again, pull it through 2 of the hoops. Grab the yarn again, pull it through 2 more of the hoops. Grab the yarn again and pull it through the last 2, and that's your triple crochet. Well done. You've just learnt your second stitch and you don't need to know any more stitches. So off we go. So now we're going to triple crochet in every stitch going back in the other direction. So every row will have 73 stitches in it. The first one will always be the chain 4, that'll count as a stitch. And in this first row it will be followed by 72 triple crochets. So we're going to do this until we get to the end. So again, wrap it around twice and go through and all that jazz. So this is what it looks like when you get to the end. When you do get to the end, just go back and do check that there is 73 so you don't mess up right at the beginning. I hate it when that happens. So then we're going to switch the work, because you always crochet in the same direction. And to start off the next row, again we're going to chain 4, and that'll count as the first stitch. And then we're going to triple crochet in every stitch all the way back to the other end again. So pretty much the first 2 rows are just triple crochets. So I made 4 of each of the buttons to make quite a fairly big blanket. It kind of almost covers a double bed. But obviously however many you want, depends on how big your blanket actually is. And when you get to the end of the second row, don't forget to actually do a stitch into that chain 4 as well, because it won't quite look like the other stitches. So you just want to go into the top stitch of that chain 4. Just make sure you've got 73 stitches in each row, which is easy for the first 2 rows because that's mostly just triple crochets. Now the third row, so this is the first row, gone in this direction, then chain 4, and now the third row, we start with a chain 4, and then there'll be 27 triple crochets before we get to these gaps, which starts to create the actual pattern, so you can see it at the end. So it leaves like little gaps. So we're going to flip the work again. These charts are pretty easy to follow. It tells you exactly how many stitches to do and where. And every single row will have 73 stitches. So again, at the beginning we're chaining 4. And in the second stitch we'll be doing a triple crochet. And after you've done those 27 triple crochets, we're going to start working on these gaps, which is really simple to do. So to make the gap, you just simply chain 2, and then you triple crochet. So you've got 2 here, and then you're going to skip 2 stitches at the bottom. So you're going to triple crochet, but you're going to miss these 2 stitches and go into the third one. So again, every row will have 73 stitches, and the chain stitches are included in that. So when you chain 2, you skip 2 on the row beforehand. So then you chain 2, triple crochet, skip 2, and you do that in the third one. And on this row, you do that 6 times. So you want 6 of these little empty cubes. So that's what it looks like. And then you just triple crochet to the end, which is 28 crochets if you include that last one that's connected to that empty box bit. And then you just basically just follow the pattern. Each line will tell you exactly what to do. When you want to do the next row, you have to triple crochet into the empty boxes. And again, because you chain 2 in those boxes, each box, when you have to triple crochet in them in, you just go underneath and then grab the yarn rather than going through any stitches. And you'll do 2 of those in each box, and then 1 on that edge of the box one. But the chart will tell you exactly how many stitches will go where, and you'll be able to see it on there. And that's how you do that bit. So that fills it in there. And also you've got some like this, where you got like boxes on top of each other. Again, really simple. All the stitches all line up on each row, so you just chain 2, and then you triple crochet into the triple crochet that was in the row beforehand. So there's nothing hard about that or fancy about that. And then you've got the box on top of the box. Obviously that weren't meant to go there, so I've got to undo that bit. So you just follow the patterns and make as many as you want, and then we're just going to sew them together to actually make the blanket. So when you get to the end of each square, you just want to cut off the yarn and then pull it through that last stitch, and that tightens itself off. And then just get a needle and thread the tail end of that yarn through a couple of stitches, and pull it out, then cut off any excess. And you also want to hide the tail at the beginning as well, because there'll be one at the beginning and the end. And you don't have to use the same colours as me. I use the colours based on the actual buttons. So this is what the square one looked like. Like I said, I made 4 of each of the buttons. And then I just sewed them together. I actually did take this off and actually go back and use thread, so you didn't see it as much. But basically just line up the rows so they are nice and square once you're finished, and then you just weave in and out of each one and then tie it off at the end. I added them one by one, so I made a row of 4, and then I actually sewed the rows together. This probably was the fiddliest part, I think. But you just keep doing that until you've stitched together as many as you want. You can stitch them in whatever kind of pattern you want as well. I kind of done it in an actual order, kind of, so they went diagonally, but you can just stitch them together randomly if you want. But that is pretty much it. So you just needed to know 2 stitches, basic sewing skills, because that's all you need, and then it's finished. So let me know if you actually like this tutorial, if you want to see any more, and thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye!